What if I told you that somewhere in the Bible, money appeared inside a fish's mouth? What if I told you that a poor widow paid off all her debts through a miracle? And what if I told you that millions of people today are searching for something called miracle money, hoping that one day cash will suddenly appear and solve all their problems? But here's the question. Is that what the Bible actually teaches? Does God really send miracle money? Or have many people misunderstood what God's provision looks like? Stay until the end, because the truth might completely change how you view money, faith, and God's promises. Let's be honest, most people don't want financial advice. They want a financial miracle. They don't want to hear about budgeting. They don't want to hear about discipline. They don't want to hear about patience. They want instant results, a sudden breakthrough, a surprise deposit, a lottery-sized blessing. And that's exactly why the phrase miracle money has become so popular. When bills are piling up, when debt keeps growing, when inflation makes life harder, the idea of supernatural financial help becomes incredibly attractive. But before we believe everything we hear, we need to ask one important question. One of the most famous financial miracles in the Bible happened during Jesus' ministry. Tax collectors approached Peter and asked whether Jesus paid the temple tax. Peter answered yes. When Peter returned, Jesus surprised him. Jesus told Peter to go fishing, not to borrow money, not to ask friends, not to start fundraising. Go fishing. And then Jesus said something incredible. The first fish Peter caught would contain a coin in its mouth. That coin would be enough to pay both Jesus' tax and Peter's tax. Imagine Peter's reaction. A fish with money inside its mouth. It sounds impossible, yet that's exactly what happened. But notice something important. The miracle wasn't about making Peter rich. The miracle met a specific need. God provided exactly what was necessary. Not more, not less, exactly enough. Now let's look at another powerful story. A widow came to the prophet Elisha desperate for help. Her husband had died, debt collectors were coming, she was about to lose everything. Even her sons could be taken away. She cried out for help. Elisha asked her a simple question. "What do you have in your house?" She answered, "Nothing, except a small jar of oil." To most people, that jar looked worthless. But God often starts with what people overlook. Elisha instructed her to borrow as many empty jars as possible. Then she began pouring, and pouring, and pouring. The oil kept flowing, jar after jar, container after container, until every vessel was filled. She sold the oil, paid her debts, and had enough left to live on. Again, notice something. God wasn't creating luxury. God was providing deliverance. The miracle solved a problem. It wasn't about greed. It was about provision. Here's where many people get confused. They read stories like these and conclude, if I have enough faith, money will magically appear. But that's not the main message of these stories. The Bible never teaches that God is a heavenly ATM machine. Faith is not a formula that forces God to release cash. In fact, many of God's greatest servants experienced financial hardship. Some were poor, some suffered, some went hungry. Yet God remained faithful. The real lesson is not, God always makes people wealthy. The real lesson is, God is able to provide. Sometimes He provides through miracles, sometimes through opportunities, sometimes through wisdom, sometimes through hard work, sometimes through other people. The method may change, but God's faithfulness remains the same. There's another reason we need to be careful with the idea of miracle money. Money can quietly become an idol. Many people claim they want God, but what they really want is what God can give them. Think about that. Would you still follow God if He never made you wealthy? Would you still trust Him if your financial breakthrough took years? Would you still worship Him if your bank account stayed the same? These are difficult questions, because true faith is not based on what we receive. It's based on who God is. The Bible never tells us to chase money. It tells us to seek God first. Money is a tool. God is the treasure. When we reverse those priorities, problems begin. Many people define prosperity as having more money. The Bible paints a bigger picture. Real prosperity includes peace, wisdom, purpose, contentment, generosity, strong relationships, and a healthy relationship with God. Think about it. A millionaire filled with anxiety isn't truly rich. A person with peace, purpose, and God's presence possesses something money can never buy. That's why Jesus warned people not to store up treasures only on earth. Earthly wealth can disappear. Heavenly treasure lasts forever. Powerful conclusion, 8:15-9. So, is miracle money real? The Bible shows that God can provide in extraordinary ways. He can open doors nobody can open. He can make a way when there seems to be no way. He can provide beyond human expectations. But the greatest miracle isn't money. The greatest miracle is learning to trust God whether money comes quickly, slowly, or in ways we never expected. Because God's ultimate goal isn't simply to change your bank account, it's to change your heart. And when your heart belongs to Him, you'll discover something amazing. The greatest treasure was never money. It was God all along. If this message challenged your thinking, take a moment to reflect on one question. Are you seeking God's hand, or are you seeking God's heart? That answer could change everything. Write your answer on the comment section and subscribe for more.